In this video, we'll identify the early signs of dementia, providing essential knowledge to aid in recognizing this condition early. Stick around until the end to fully grasp these critical indicators. Please like this video and subscribe to stay informed about important health topics. Speaking less often is an early sign of dementia that can manifest as a noticeable reduction in verbal communication. Individuals with dementia may become quieter, contribute less to conversations, or avoid speaking altogether. This decline in speech is often linked to the cognitive difficulties associated with dementia, including problems with word retrieval, language processing, and the effort required to form coherent sentences. The neurological changes in dementia can affect various language centers in the brain, making it challenging for individuals to find the right words, follow a conversation, or express their thoughts clearly. As a result, they may prefer to remain silent rather than risk making mistakes or feeling frustrated by their inability to communicate effectively. This reduced verbal engagement can be particularly noticeable in social settings where the demand for spontaneous speech is higher. For instance, a person with early dementia might participate less in family discussions, provide shorter responses when spoken to, or avoid initiating conversations altogether. They might also struggle with more complex verbal tasks, such as telling a story or explaining a concept, leading to a preference for nonverbal activities or solitary pursuits. This decrease in speech can lead to social isolation and affect relationships, as communication is a fundamental aspect of human interaction. Friends and family may notice the person becoming more withdrawn and less involved in social activities, which can contribute to feelings of loneliness and exacerbate other symptoms of dementia, such as depression and anxiety. Moreover, speaking less often can impact the individual's ability to convey needs and preferences, making it harder for caregivers to understand and meet their needs effectively. This can lead to misunderstandings and increased frustration on both sides, complicating the caregiving dynamic. Misinterpretation of spatial relationships is an early sign of dementia that affects an individual's ability to judge distances and understand the position of objects in their environment. This cognitive impairment can lead to difficulties in navigating familiar spaces, misjudging steps or the distance to objects, and can cause confusion when interacting with the physical world. Individuals experiencing this symptom may have trouble performing tasks that require spatial awareness, such as driving, where judging the distance between vehicles becomes problematic. Inside the home, this might manifest as difficulty in navigating furniture placement, leading to increased bumps or minor accidents. Even simple tasks like placing items on a surface or pouring a drink might become challenging as the person struggles to accurately perceive where objects are located. This misinterpretation stems from damage to the brain areas involved in visual processing and spatial cognition. As these areas deteriorate, so does the ability to process and interpret visual information correctly. The person might see the world differently, not just in terms of blurred or double vision, which is more related to eye health, but in understanding how objects relate to each other in space. For example, they might perceive a flat surface as uneven or fail to see depth in a picture, causing disorientation and a lack of understanding about their immediate environment. This can be particularly distressing in unfamiliar settings where the ability to adapt to new spatial layouts is compromised. The implications of this symptom are significant as they affect the individual's safety and independence. The risk of falls or serious injuries can increase as the person fails to navigate their environment safely. Moreover, the frustration and anxiety resulting from these challenges can exacerbate other symptoms of dementia, such as withdrawal and depression, as the individual feels less capable and more confined. Ignoring social etiquettes is an early sign of dementia that signifies changes in the brain's ability to understand and adhere to societal norms and customs. This symptom reflects impairments in the frontal lobes, particularly the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for executive functions such as impulse control, social cognition, and the regulation of appropriate behavior in social contexts. Individuals with dementia may begin to exhibit behaviors that are socially inappropriate or out of character. This can include speaking out of turn, interrupting conversations, or making inappropriate comments without realizing the impact on others. They may also struggle with more subtle social cues, such as maintaining eye contact, interpreting body language, or understanding the nuances of polite conversation. The breakdown in social etiquette can be linked to the degeneration of neural pathways involved in empathy, self-monitoring, and the inhibition of socially unacceptable impulses. The prefrontal cortex, which helps individuals assess the appropriateness of their actions and modify behavior based on social feedback, is often one of the first areas affected by dementia. As these functions deteriorate, the individual may lose the ability to gauge the social context and respond accordingly. This symptom can manifest in various ways, such as forgetting to say please and thank you, speaking loudly in quiet settings, or failing to respect personal boundaries. They might also engage in behaviors that are considered rude or intrusive, such as asking personal questions or making unsolicited comments about someone's appearance. Ignoring social etiquettes can lead to misunderstandings and strained relationships, as friends, family members, and colleagues may feel uncomfortable or offended by these behaviors. This symptom can contribute to social isolation, as the individual with dementia may be less invited to social gatherings or may withdraw themselves due to negative feedback from their interactions. Unusual laughter or crying is an early sign of dementia that manifests as inappropriate or disproportionate emotional reactions. This symptom involves sudden and uncontrollable episodes of laughter or crying that may not correspond to the individual's actual emotional state or the social context. These episodes can occur without any clear trigger and may be difficult to predict or manage. The neurological basis for this symptom lies in the disruption of the brain's emotional regulation centers, including the prefrontal cortex and limbic system. As these areas degenerate, the person's ability to control and modulate their emotional responses becomes impaired, leading to exaggerated or inappropriate expressions of emotion. For example, an individual with dementia might burst into laughter during a solemn moment or cry excessively over a minor inconvenience. These emotional outbursts can be puzzling and distressing for both the individual and those around them. The person may also have difficulty recognizing or explaining why they are experiencing these intense emotions, adding to their confusion and frustration. Unusual laughter or crying can also interfere with social interactions and daily activities. It can lead to misunderstandings and discomfort in social settings, where others may not understand the reasons behind the person's behavior. This symptom can further isolate the individual, as they may avoid social situations to prevent embarrassment or negative reactions from others. The presence of unusual laughter or crying as an early sign of dementia highlights the complex interplay between cognitive decline and emotional dysregulation. This symptom reflects the broader impact of dementia on the individual's ability to interact with and respond to their environment in socially appropriate ways. Social withdrawal is an early sign of dementia that often manifests subtly, gradually intensifying as the condition progresses. Individuals may begin to remove themselves from social gatherings, community activities, or even intimate family interactions where they once played an active role. This withdrawal can stem from several cognitive challenges associated with dementia, including difficulty in following conversations, remembering names or details about others, and the effort required to participate in social interactions. The tendency to withdraw socially in dementia patients can also be exacerbated by the embarrassment of not being able to engage as they once did, fear of making mistakes, or simply the overwhelming nature of social settings that demand high levels of cognitive processing. As their social skills deteriorate, the nuances of social interaction, like understanding jokes, picking up on nonverbal cues, or keeping up with fast-moving conversations, can become daunting tasks. Moreover, this retreat from social life is not only about avoiding complex interactions, but also reflects a deeper loss of interest in relationships and activities. The person might show a diminished emotional response towards social engagements that would have previously sparked joy or anticipation. This can be particularly distressing for friends and family who may interpret these changes as disinterest or rejection, affecting relationships in the person's support network. The changes in the brain affecting social behavior are often related to the frontal and temporal lobes, which are vital for emotional regulation, personality expression, and social behavior. As these areas degrade, the individual's capacity to engage socially and their motivation to do so diminishes, leading to a self-perpetuating cycle of social isolation and cognitive decline. This early sign of dementia signifies a profound transformation in how individuals connect with the world around them. It underscores the complexities of dementia, which extends beyond memory loss and cognitive impairment to include significant alterations in social interaction and emotional expression. Recognizing these signs early can be crucial for addressing the needs of those with dementia, emphasizing the necessity of maintaining human connections and interactions even as other cognitive faculties wane. Inability to adapt to change is an early sign of dementia that manifests as an extreme difficulty in adjusting to new situations, routines, or environments. This symptom can make even minor changes in daily life seem overwhelming and distressing for individuals affected by dementia. They might become highly agitated or anxious when faced with alterations to their routine, such as changes in meal times, modifications to their living space, or unexpected events. This rigidity in behavior stems from the cognitive decline that affects the brain's executive functions, including flexibility, problem-solving, and the ability to plan and adapt. As dementia progresses, the neural pathways that facilitate these functions deteriorate, making it challenging for individuals to process new information and integrate it into their existing framework of understanding. This results in a strong preference for sameness and predictability. For example, someone with dementia might insist on eating the same foods every day, follow a strict daily schedule, or become distressed if a familiar caregiver is replaced by someone new. They may also resist changes in their living environment, such as rearranging furniture or moving to a new residence, even if these changes are intended to improve safety or comfort. The inability to adapt to change can significantly impact the individual's quality of life and that of their caregivers. It can lead to increased stress and frustration for both parties, especially when changes are necessary for health, safety, or logistical reasons. Caregivers might find it difficult to introduce new activities or routines that could benefit the person with dementia, as any deviation from the norm can trigger anxiety or agitation. This symptom also underscores the importance of stability and routine in the care of individuals with dementia. The need for a structured environment becomes apparent as it helps reduce confusion and anxiety, providing a sense of security and predictability in an otherwise disorienting world. Difficulty reading is a notable early sign of dementia that impacts an individual's ability to engage with text, a skill fundamental to many daily activities and hobbies. This challenge is not merely a vision problem, but a cognitive decline affecting the brain's ability to process and comprehend written words. People with early dementia may find it increasingly hard to follow narratives or understand complex or even simple texts that were once familiar and easily comprehensible. This impairment can manifest in several ways. For example, individuals may start reading a paragraph and lose track of what it was about by the end, requiring them to start over repeatedly. They might also misunderstand or not remember what they have just read, leading to frustration and a gradual withdrawal from reading-related activities. This includes difficulties in managing personal finances, as understanding bills or official documents becomes confusing. Moreover, the loss of reading skills in dementia is often linked to problems with visual perception and processing. The individual might struggle to recognize letters and words, or they might mix up letters, leading to misinterpretations of the text. This is compounded by the decreasing ability to concentrate and maintain attention, which is crucial for reading comprehension. The decline in reading ability can have broader implications for independence and quality of life. Reading is not only a source of pleasure and relaxation, but also a means of staying informed, managing daily life, and maintaining social connections, such as through correspondence. As this skill deteriorates, it can contribute to a greater sense of isolation and dependency. This early sign of dementia is particularly distressing for those who have cherished reading as a lifelong habit. It represents a significant loss of a culturally and intellectually enriching activity, impacting the person's sense of self and engagement with the world. One of the telltale early signs of dementia is a noticeable difficulty in completing familiar tasks at home, in the workplace, or during leisure activities. This isn't just about forgetting how to do something. It's about struggling to perform tasks that were once done without much thought. This can include trouble driving to a familiar location, managing a budget at work, or remembering the rules of a favorite game. The root of this difficulty lies in cognitive decline, which affects memory, reasoning, and problem-solving abilities. As dementia progresses, even routine activities such as setting a table, operating a microwave, or organizing a day's activities become challenging. The person may start a task but leave it unfinished due to confusion or forget what they were initially set out to do. For those experiencing this symptom, the world becomes increasingly unpredictable and confusing. Tasks that require sequential steps, such as cooking a meal or making repairs around the house, can seem overwhelming. As the ability to process and execute steps diminishes, so does the individual's independence and self-sufficiency. This decline often leads to frustration and withdrawal. The person with dementia may start to avoid activities they once enjoyed because they are embarrassed by their mistakes or frustrated by their increasing dependency. This can lead to social isolation, which can accelerate cognitive decline due to decreased mental stimulation and engagement. Furthermore, the inability to complete familiar tasks can have serious implications for safety. For example, forgetting to turn off the oven after cooking or struggling to adhere to medication schedules can create hazardous situations. Therefore, it's crucial for caregivers and family members to recognize these signs early. Simple adjustments, such as creating detailed lists, using safety devices, or rearranging the living environment to reduce risks, can significantly help manage these challenges. Changes in mood and personality are profound early signs of dementia that can be quite distressing for both the individual experiencing them and their loved ones. These changes can manifest as increased confusion, suspicion, depression, fear, or anxiety, and are not typically part of the individual's usual behavior. The shift can be sudden or gradual, but it often represents a significant departure from how the person used to interact with the world. One of the most challenging aspects of these changes is their unpredictability. An individual with dementia might become easily upset in situations that previously would not have bothered them or may show disproportionate reactions to minor irritations. This unpredictability can be particularly troubling for family members and caregivers who might struggle to understand or anticipate the person's emotional responses. Anxiety and depression are common as the person begins to sense changes in their cognitive abilities. The frustration of not being able to perform tasks that were once easy, or the fear of losing their memory, can lead to significant emotional distress. This emotional turmoil is exacerbated by the individual's diminishing ability to manage and express their emotions effectively. Suspicion and paranoia are also notable changes that can arise. A person with dementia may misinterpret what they see or hear, leading to mistaken beliefs that others are out to harm them or steal from them. This can strain relationships, especially if the individual becomes suspicious of close family members or caregivers. Personality changes may include shifts from being outgoing to withdrawn or from easygoing to quick-tempered. Such alterations can be especially hard for families to cope with, as they might feel as though they are losing the essence of who the person once was. It's crucial for loved ones to understand that these changes are symptoms of the disease and not deliberate actions by the individual. Recognizing these mood and personality changes as early signs of dementia is vital because they can often prompt an initial investigation into the individual's cognitive health. Early diagnosis and management can help mitigate some of the distressing effects and provide strategies for managing the emotional and psychological aspects of the disease. As dementia progresses, individuals often encounter new problems with words in both speaking and writing. This symptom involves more than just searching for the right word. It affects the ability to join or follow conversations and express thoughts coherently. People may stop in the middle of a conversation and have no idea how to continue, or they may repeat themselves. They might substitute incorrect words, making their sentences difficult to understand. This linguistic struggle reflects a deterioration in the neural pathways involved in language processing and production. As these pathways break down, the ability to recall and use words accurately diminishes. For instance, someone with dementia might call a watch a hand clock, or struggle to remember common words, leading to descriptions of objects instead of naming them, that thing you open doors with, instead of key. Writing also becomes a challenge. An individual might make multiple spelling errors, have trouble maintaining grammar rules, or be unable to organize their thoughts on paper. This decline can be particularly frustrating for someone who previously had strong verbal or written skills. The impact of these communication problems is profound. Social interactions can become stressful and embarrassing, leading to withdrawal from conversations and social settings to avoid making mistakes or being misunderstood. This isolation can exacerbate cognitive decline, as engaging in regular, meaningful conversation is a key component of mental health and cognitive maintenance. We hope you found this video on the early signs of dementia informative. Please hit the like button if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more educational content. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.